The views and opinions expressed on Live at the Barbershop are entirely those of the host, guest, and caller and do not reflect the opinions of Live at the Barbershop or its staff. Viewers' discretion is advised. The following podcast is intended for mature audiences only and contains adult contents, graphic language, strong sexual content, and a whole lot of shit talking. So in other words, get your kids out the room.
Here we go at the Barbershop with your hosts, Misha J, Aaliyah, Black Republican, and those two crazy Caribbean guys from the Q&N show, Norris and Q. And now, the man of the hour, Mr. HNIC, Mr. Sleep When You're Dead, Hustle Now, the magnificent.
Yo, son. What's up with all that?
I was just trying to amp it up, you know, like...
Oh, okay, all right, yeah, I'm all right, I'm with that.
John, live at the Barbershop Podcast.
Yeah, I like that intro. I love the intro. Yes, welcome back. It's Friday. Wake up. The weekend is upon us. It's still Scorpio month, though. Shout out to Jazz. My homegirl Jazz out there enjoying her birthday out in Vegas. Do your thing. Be safe.
She's Scorpio.
Shout out to Brandon Campbell. What up? Anybody going out to Vegas, that's who you need to check. Check me. I'll put you on to my man Brandon Campbell. Any party you need to get in, that's the man to go see. You heard?
Yeah.
Today is a little challenging. It's challenging for a couple of reasons. Now, I remember as a youngster, I used to watch a show called Maury Povich. And everybody know Maury. All right. Whether it's fake, real, or anything in between, it was always entertaining. But it's definitely a different thing when art becomes reality for some people. When it becomes reality for some people, when they're in that predicament and the question is asked,
Are you?
okay.
What do you mean by that?
Exactly. Some don't want to be on that side of the table. And some are unfortunately been riding it out for 18 or more. So that's the discussion for today. Man, it's what up? There's a few situations that I personally know where an individual has been supportive, stepped up as a man, has invested the emotional half of things for years and then found out the child wasn't his.
Yeah.
Aside from the financial portion of it. So tonight's discussion is a law that they call House Bill 2689. Please get familiar with it. House Bill 2689. Any lotto players out there, this is the number to go get, 2689.
Don't play around with those numbers, man. Don't play around with some numbers.
And if you hit it, I need 5 to 10% of the cut. Okay?
What do you mean by that?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
All right.
You know,
So before we get into it, let me introduce myself to you and the world out there. I am John, your host for the night. Sitting next to me is my man Q. How it is, how it do, how are you?
What's up? It's a blessed night, man. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful out here in the shop, man.
Have you been in that situation before?
Nah. I've known.
Is there any soundbite for what he just said? Oh, yeah. One more time.
Nah.
Say it again. You said, have you been in that situation before? Now, I'm gonna do it.
man.
All right. All right. Let me bring Sassy. Sassy's in the building. What up?
Hello. How's it going, guys?
What's up?
All right.
Oh, you the
Yes.
father?
Nah, man.
All right. So we're discussing House Bill 2689, Tennessee. Memphis, Tennessee. And I'm wondering now, I'm hoping that other states adopt this. Definitely hope that they adopt this situation. For all that don't know, hold on. Mute it out for a minute. You got a lot of noise in your background, Sass. Yeah. Okay. So for all that don't know what it is, Memphis, Tennessee adopted a bill called 2689, as I stated before. For maternity fraud bill. Okay. Okay, because that I think is very, very needed. Way overdue. So now this will kind of protect the fathers of unwed fathers. Okay, unwed fathers. We're not talking about married people and stuff like that. These are unwed people. Okay, that mandates it that a DNA has to be taken after childbirth. Right there. Boom.
So you don't think that should refers to marriage couples too?
Because I'm gonna get to all that. Get to that.
Yeah.
A couple of things there that's very interesting. So before we even get to that portion of things, I'm gonna throw this out to everyone out there. And I'm gonna have the viewers and the family and everyone out there that normally chime in. I'm gonna give you some time to chime in. Maybe I'll answer the question a little bit in between. But the first question is, out of everywhere on this planet, where do you think has the highest maternity fraud rate? We're not talking about just the U.S., on the planet. Who do you think? I'm going to let that marinate for a minute.
Okay.
That's for everyone out there. Once again, who do you think on the planet that we live on has the highest maternity rate, the maternity fraud rate of all time?
What? Is it the country the
Well,
most gallus?
No. No.
It's not.
No. So I'm gonna let that marinate for a minute, and then we'll get back into that.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of Gallus, okay. Now I need your movement. So no twanging on this one. Okay.
No.
So before we get to that section there, a tad bit of educational thing for married men that are out there. So now let me ask you a question. Now, you were married, right?
Yeah.
And just from experience, let's just hypothetically say if you're, I would say wife, but let's use ex-wife, but present or past, either way, ex. If she did get pregnant with someone else while you were married, do you think that you're responsible for that child? Yes or no?
In my own thoughts, no.
You don't think you're responsible?
I don't think.
Why?
It's not my child. I never did it.
Okay, so because she's cheating and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
she's cheating, yeah.
So would you stay with her after that?
No.
Okay.
Could never. I'll bounce.
You're a victim.
I'm gonna bounce, bro.
Okay, well, hear me out on this one. And this is from a site I normally go to all the time, Quora. So for anyone out there, anything you need to get an answer, this is a good site also. Okay, so if a married woman gets pregnant by a man other than her husband and chooses to stay with her husband, the question is posed, would the biological father have to pay child support? So here's this thing. So it's saying that if a married woman gets pregnant by another man and she's still married, the husband is obligated. Okay? The husband, okay, would be the biological father to pay child support.
That's what they say.
Okay.
Abortion?
Bullshit, you not.
Abortion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only the legal father is obligated to pay child support. By law, a woman's husband is the legal father of her child. Okay, are you hearing me? That's something to think about.
We know laws are made. We see it every day with the law.
Right.
and we call it all different type of things, stupid, crazy, you know. But
that's madness.
That's
No pun
that's
intended.
madness. There's no explanation. That's very crazy.
But that is crazy. That is crazy. But it is law.
No.
There's steps that you could take, and she would have to take those steps as well. So if you step down from that obligation, then she would have to, go after the biological father.
Yeah.
You understand? So that's just something interesting by listening to that. Then for anything else outside of that,
yeah,
all bets are off.
So what they're actually saying, this is not for just a dude running around knocking up.
No,
this is for marriage couple also.
Married couples as well. Right. That just going to tell you that all bets are off. If you think that just because you're married, you're not tied into this in any way. You still are. Trust me, you still are. Okay. So Sassy, your thoughts as a female in the group now. What are your thoughts on that?
All right. I don't know. I don't think a man that's not biologically the father should be responsible financially for children that are not theirs, unless they volunteer and say they want to continue doing so, or they volunteer to do so, knowing that they're not the biological father. If they, voluntarily say, I'll be there and support, that's fine. That's on him. But if the woman knows that there's a potential, it's between this person or that person, I think the woman should be honest and let both men know.
Wow.
So you think so?
I mean, come on, that's only right. But there are females out there that will drag dudes. I mean, they will all out they'll get straight nasty with dudes knowing that this is not the father of the child. But they would, almost call down God to the earth to say that this is you're the father, and all sorts of drama. Put a man through it, and they know that dude is not the father.
Bing
That
bong.
does exist. It does exist. So
Which is
there's
so many repercussions that come from that one play.
Yeah.
Domino effect all the way across the board. And some for years. Years. All the emotional baggage that comes with that from both sides of the family, the child to the parent.
Yeah.
Some finding, look, it's a little different, but still it's an emotional baggage that you still have to carry. Kerry Washington recently found out that her father was not her biological father.
That's different though.
I know, it's like I said, it's a little different, but the emotional baggage is still there. Because even for her now, she's hunting to find out who her father is, even though this man is the one that raised her.
I don't know if I would do that. If I were in that situation,
females will do it.
I don't think I wouldn't want, because this man has been there, and it was a fertility concern.
Yeah, it's a fertility situation. Like I said, it's not totally the same, but the emotional baggage is still there because she still has to answer that question mark that's in her brain. It's going to constantly dig in and say, who is that person then? Even though you look at this person and he's been the one that raised you, you're always going to have that question.
My only reason for doing that will be for health reasons. Other than that, if this is my father, this is my father.
That was part of her reason.
It will only be to have, potential, if there's any potential health concern. But other than that, this is my father. This is my father.
Right.
I don't think you would take it like that. You'd want to know something, a little bit of the real person who's your father.
Not for me.
It would nag you. It would not. You don't think so?
It wouldn't bother me because this man has been there since she was born as her father. I personally, for me, it would only be just for health reasons. that I would want to know who this person is.
Okay.
But not to say establish a father-daughter relationship. I wouldn't want to do that. No.
Wow.
Okay. So let me ask you now. Q said something about Gallus or something. You said something.
Yeah, when you ask which country
You think has
carry
the highest
Yeah.
paternity fraud?
Yeah.
Fraud.
I thought it was
I'm gonna say France.
You say France. You
I'm
say
gonna say
y'all.
France.
All right. I'll wait for the rest of them to chime in.
Is it Australia?
I'm not gonna say until the
Okay.
time comes. Well,
But
since you mentioned Jamaica,
yeah,
okay.
mentioning Jamaica, there's it wasn't actually a study, it was mentioned, when you're filing for family
Mhm.
to come abroad. When you're filing for family to come abroad, you gotta do the necessary testing. But the last time it was done, the US Embassy in Jamaica reported that all the people that they get to do these diagnostic tests, the DNA
right.
test, it was like 72% of them was negative. 72%.
Yeah. So here's the thing. There's a term that you guys use back home, right? A Michael Jackson what? With all the zippers.
Jacket.
Okay.
That's what they use for this term in Jamaica. You get that jacket. It's not now or you. And we also have things in Jamaica where we make fun of it because you could get a son. You're very dark skinned. The mother is very dark skinned.
Well,
and the child comes looking white.
It has been done before where I even seen it. There was a couple in England. One kid is white and one came out black.
But we always have something to add to that. It's either we're going to say, okay, he looks like his great grandfather. They don't even have a picture of his great grandfather.
You got to make something up.
Yeah. The kid, both parents could be dark and the kid come white. They said, oh my God, he look just like his grandfather, great grandfather.
So now I'm going to explain now how all this stuff ties back into the Bill 2689. Okay. So now in the study in the Gallus town of Jamaica, okay, studies reveal that 67% of Jamaican females said that they knew of another woman who had committed paternity fraud. All right. And that was 26% of Jamaican fathers who took the part in the study admitted that they had been victims of paternity fraud from St. Thomas all the way to Trelawney. Okay.
Suppose I tell you something about within my family. I've been hearing that my dad has about 17 of us. One day he was caught up in that.
But he claimed you. See, that's the difference. He claimed you.
Yeah.
See, and between your mother and it, they claimed you.
Yeah.
The problem with these things is some actually know that these guys are not the father.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, whether it's a financial situation or a family thing, a house thing, a neighborhood thing, whatever it is, they still put this Michael Jackson jacket,
this jacket
on this person,
Yeah.
And that's where the problem comes in. Because again, I think this is a good bill that should be adopted worldwide. I don't even know why this wasn't. Well, I do know why, and we'll get to that in a few.
Yeah.
It all comes back down to the financial structure that these family courts and all these things have in place.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of these things aren't in place. And now it's going to disrupt the ecosystem for a lot of them.
Yeah. And also Jamaica, I know that.
Touch on that. No, I was going to say, I think Sassy could touch on that.
Okay.
Yeah. And also I want to add to this. I think Jamaica is moving forward in that situation because when I was there was no child support system.
Okay.
That is implemented now.
Just box juice.
the child support where a female can take a dude to the courts,
Okay.
and that dude has to pay up,
Uh,
and that is implemented now.
Okay.
And there's another one that I've seen where in Parliament in Jamaica they're fighting for this same thing. This bill, the 2687, 89.
Yeah.
They're trying to implement that, something like that in Jamaica, so you get tested from birth.
Okay.
Also, they're seeing where more females are asking for it, for the test at birth.
Right.
Females. Why? Females are requesting it more now.
But I think with that now, I'll let Sassy touch on that.
Yeah, let me just. I don't want to get my
Go ahead.
out, because also in the Parliament they're saying a lot of these things. The fraud.
Right.
It leads to violence. It leads to domestic violence. And the minister was also saying, past that a certain degree of violence, it become part of murder because of the same thing.
Yeah. I've seen it before.
It's happening. Yeah.
Before. All right, Sassy, your thoughts.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. There's actually a nonprofit group called Women Against Paternity Fraud. So they are pushing for federal law that would require DNA testing to prove paternity for those that unmarried persons. Not so much, you're considered, men are considered the fathers by default while married. While married in certain states, if a child is born within 300 days of a marriage, meaning they could have gotten divorced 2 months ago, but the child was born within, that 2-month period, or within that 300 days, then that man that just got divorced is considered the father, even though there's a potential for him not to be. So then you have to take other legal steps to try to disprove paternity. So I think that would be a good thing considering circumstances today. And we do have DNA testing available now. Most of that law where for the married man is presumed to be the father by default is actually a law that came in a lot. I think back in the 1800s or something.
Yeah, it's gotta be old.
Yeah. It was basically just rooted in morality, So I think it'll be a good thing, especially for young fathers. I know some young men, like my son's age and stuff, that have voluntarily signed birth certificate, excited to be a father, and they're going through the struggles now, And these females, like I said, they will drag you behind through a lot, knowing that you are not the father.
To touch on that though, with the young fathers or any father, I think because a lot of good guys get wrapped up in this this bum mentality that these some of these guys get. These guys that project this thing where they don't want the responsibilities and stuff like that. So for the good guys out here that do hear about it, I think they don't want to fall in that category. And 2, like you said, they're probably excited for the first time. And 3, they don't want the female to feel like the bond situation between the two of them wasn't there, where it's like, that's not mine. No, you know what I'm saying? So I think without any thought, they look and they say, gotta be, and a lot of you can't really look at the baby when but you might find certain little features, but until time runs, but I think with that, they wrote themselves up where if they automatically said, I don't mind, let's do the DNA. But they feel like they're probably offending someone by saying, that's like saying prenup.
I was going there. That's what I was going to say.
Listen.
But that is just for married couple. If you married and you're questioning your wife about doing a DNA, she's going to question it. Just like a prenup in a marriage, she's going to, you don't trust me. Right. It's questionable. But if you're not married, that person should never
But then
I'm not
automatically,
voluntarily signing anything.
again, like I said, for
I'm not.
some
My
men,
son know he better not voluntarily sign anything.
and you're talking from a
Period.
female perspective. So,
Yeah.
but for men,
Do not voluntarily sign a damn thing. If you are
but that's
not
why I said that's
attached to the
why.
hip to this person 24 hours a day, you swear
But
for
that's why
nobody.
some.
You only swear for yourself.
But that's
My
why
son
some
know
men.
that.
That's why some men get roped up in this situation because again, they probably don't want to look like if they came from that household where their father was missing, different things of that nature. Then
I don't
they
care.
don't want to repeat the situations.
In
And you're
America, you
right.
gotta
No,
know
you're
what
right.
you
You're right.
gotta know where you live.
You're
Everything
right.
in America is by legal bond, and that legal bond is your signature on documents. Do
Hey,
not
listen.
sign a damn thing.
Who
Don't
else
sign
not to
it.
listen to but a female tell you don't trust a female? Hey, I tell me twice.
It's not about don't trust a
Am I
female,
right
but
or
like I
wrong?
said, these
You
days,
gotta tell me twice.
honestly, no, because everybody's looking for that come up. Everybody's
Nah,
looking for that come up.
nah, definitely. That is
You
100%.
got women
100%.
that have men in court, swear that they're the father. Now the guy is forced, has to pay child support and supposed to have visitation. And guess what? I'm going to interrupt the visitation. I'm
Mhm.
going to just sit here and collect, and you're not even going to see this child that you're paying every month on. Is that proper? Is that right?
Nah.
No.
Yeah.
So you don't voluntarily sign a damn. My son, no, don't sign a damn thing. Make your
So,
we have to look into things legally always. That's
so
it.
now going back to the 2689 bill. So of course we know child welfare. There are all these different division that collects child support offices, family court, all these things. This is a money-making situation.
Yeah.
So someone has to pay. Someone has to pay. They don't really care who at the end of the day. Someone has to pay. And 9 out of 10, I think this bill would be so detrimental to curb the fraudulent acts out there because when jail time is added,
Yeah.
you're going to see a decrease in this behavior. But because right now no one's getting slapped on the wrist
Yeah.
except the men, right now for a female, she could do that. But I think what they should introduce also is retro pay. The same way now, no, seriously, because
Yeah.
for instance, Keanu Reeves had a situation, same way. Female said he's the father, and she was going for gold. I think during this time is probably when Matrix was its best. And she's like, look,
This man is Matrix, man. This man is.
listen, she dropped some numbers that she believes he should be paying. 144,000 on child support. She wants retro pay. So this would mean that the kid was born in the late 80s or something like that, because Matrix is like early 90s or something like that, right? If I remember right.
Yeah.
So she want retro pay back into the 80s and moving forward. So that means she wants back pay.
So this is something she sit and plan and work out.
So now I'm saying to myself, the same thing that we see all the time. Are we really talking about support? Never love. The support half of it is the monetary portion of things. Because as soon as they figure out that there's a money or something of
value,
something they can gain or something, I need to have such and such. But when you're saying you want 144,000, like to do what? Like for what? A kid?
Remember, there are lawyers. There are lawyers behind these numbers. You gotta remember that. So they're gonna want their portion. So things can get inflated. Women in those larger cases, these women are not usually representing themselves.
No,
they're not going down to the Department of Revenue. They're not going through welfare. They're lawyered up. So you have to take that into consideration as well.
Yeah.
And then they'll always want to throw in pain and suffering for added money.
Yeah, Tyrese recently, I watched something with Tyrese recently saying that one of his daughter is like, when the kid was like 3, the mother want like, what was it? 20,000
It's
a
the
month.
lifestyle. The lifestyle.
And he goes back to court saying, what does a 3-year-old need
for
20,000
yeah,
to
it's a
take
lot of
care
them.
of?
I
Yeah.
forgot the
And for
numbers
those women with those celebrity men, they're gonna say the child needs security. They got to pay for security. They got to pay for private school. They got to pay for
all this stuff.
transportation.
So
Crazy.
So I was just wondering, because I tried to look it up. There's nothing really on it, but I'm just saying to myself, Tennessee must have a high maternity fraud rate in order for someone to introduce this, or it is something that someone personally had come into contact with themselves or someone close to them. So now doing research, I realized that one of the main person that introduced this bill by the name, he's actually a Memphis representative also by the name of Antonio Parkinson. He said now he took documentations and different things from other fathers that were also in this predicament and brought it to a magistrate and introduced it to the magistrate to say, these are the reasons why we need to push forward for this bill. These are all the gentlemen that have the same issues that even when they found out from the DNA, they're not the father, they still were on the hook.
The courts, yes, still processing them.
The magistrate said to him, well, someone has to pay.
Because they don't want the children to be the burden of the state. They don't want so that's where it comes from. So that's why you will see this. And that's why they will have someone that's proven DNA wise not to be the father to continue payments. Some states have a statute of limitation. You got 2 years to disprove paternity. You miss that window, there's a potential you'll be stuck until whatever 1821 for continuing child support payments for this child, because what is it termed? Do you want it's for the best interest of the child, so they say. Okay, so just keep that in mind.
We all know that's false.
And they don't want this, them to be a burden on the state, because some women may have multiple children, and then each time they have, that's another, welfare payment, for another child. So make the man, any man, point out a man. They just tell you, with the welfare, so they'll say, just list who you think is the father.
And so I can't get a daughter right now.
Yeah, women will just list somebody.
Anything is possible.
There have been cases where men who have never met this woman have been charged to pay, and they're like, I've never met this woman. One guy in California had to pay for about 2 years for a child that he had never met. They had never interacted, has never known this woman. And I think for some reason they were like never in court together or something. But when they finally were, she looked and was like, "Oh, that's not him." But he had a similar name to another man, and they were taking money out of his check, like $800 a month for 2 years.
Let me tell you how deep it gets. Okay, and this is another reason again. So from hearing all these drama stories, this is why I'm hoping that this is statewide eventually. Because I'm surprised that
nationwide.
Well, yeah, nationwide. Yeah. Because there's a story of a athlete that this happened to. Don't remember the gentleman's name, but I do remember the story. So what happened? This guy went out. So happened that that night he got with this one female, and it was her and her friend. So the friend must have, I don't know if it was a hotel or somewhere, wherever they went, and then the friend was either downstairs or whatever, or in the other room maybe or something. So the guy and the girl, they did their thing. I guess the guy threw the condom in the trash.
Yeah.
The friend goes into the bathroom takes it out, and leaves with it. Guy doesn't know that. Months later now, he gets this thing in the mail that child support, paternity, this, that, and the guy's like, what? Who's this? You don't even know the name. It's like, I don't even know this person. So he's challenging it because he's like, hey, listen, I'll take whatever I have to take because I don't know this person. I don't know, this lady's crazy or something. I don't know her. Takes the paternity test. Boom, he's the father. So he's trying to say in his head, how? I don't even know this individual, where this person came from. So he sees the person. They go to court, saying to himself, yo, I don't even know this individual. But he's saying in his head, she looks familiar. I just don't know where I know her from, but I don't know her.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the grace of God for him, where her friend is actually the one that he slept with that night, the friend found out about it, felt bad for him, and went and told him that the friend, she found out later because she wasn't in cahoots with the friend. Friend did this on her own. The friend went and the friend told her when she got pregnant, your boy's about to pay. And she didn't understand what she meant. Yeah, he about to pay for the next 18. I'm not working. I'm getting paid. Found out she took a turkey baster and took the thing and yep, and got and that's the only reason that saved him is that she testified on his behalf of what happened. I don't know what the end result portion of it, whether the court still said that he had to pay or because of her fraudulent ways, she's on her own. But
they will go the extreme.
That's the distance someone will go. No thought about the child, no thought about the ramifications years to come, the psychological damage, all these things in between, the emotional baggages, all these things. Just the dollar bill.
Yeah.
And it's no different in the court system because even with this bill, the opposite side of them, the human services, are worried about, like the representatives for the human services portion of things,
who goes after these guys,
are worried that this bill, if they do pass it, it will affect the financial portion of things, of the money that they're collecting, which would be, right now they're saying it's jeopardizing the $52 million in federal aid that they are matched. So the feds usually match the money. So because of that now, if they pass this situation, but in all honesty, if you think about it, it would not affect anything. Someone still has to pay. It just doesn't have to be that dupe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But someone still would have to pay because if she's putting it on you and you're not the father, and she puts it on the actual person, that person still has to pay. So why would you still try and not pass this bill because you're thinking it's going to jeopardize the money that the feds will be matching to the state?
Because they will have to pay back the money with interest that was collected.
Well, that's what a lot of them have to do then. Start suing them.
And I guess most of them ain't working because that's the money they used to live from.
And listen to me. If there's any lawyers out there listening, come up with something where we can sue to get back the money as well. Because
you can actually file. Men who are victim of paternity fraud, they can actually file a civil suit against either the mother or the proven biological father. They can actually for reimbursement. They can actually do that. Don't ask me if it'll stand up.
I'm about to tell you that.
One guy in California was able to do that. He had 2 children. Well, he was presumed to have 2 children with a lady. He realized those children were not his. He did put in a petition after paying. I think he paid for like 5 years, 2 to 5 years for these children, with child support. He put in a petition. It took about 3 years, but he was able to win and got reimbursed for his payments of about $300 a month for these children. So yeah.
I did do. Hold on.
What? Hey.
So I did do a little research on that because I was curious to find out what is the percentage rate of females that had to pay back males for that type of situation. And a lot of them said when they went to court and put the paperwork in and everything, you know what the judge told them?
Nah, man.
That's what he said. You're not getting nothing back. Be happy and walk out the court. Because they said that a lot of times, even when they went to court and filed these things, they're on the back burner for so long. They haven't received the money. It's just a joke. Sometimes they get laughed at, different things of that nature. But because there's nothing really in place to put these females in check for the fraudulent act, a lot of them look like, okay, next. But now, if there's something where jail time is included,
they'll think twice.
You best think twice. I'm pretty sure some.
I don't know if they'll do. I don't know if they'll do jail time, only because usually the children are with the mothers for majority of the custody, right?
Well, from what they said with this bill here, they're trying to push definitely for jail time for the fraudulent portion of things. So
then you got to think about potential for child, what do they call it, foster care and things like that for these children, because sometimes there's no family member to leave these kids with while the mother's in jail. So that might be a stumbling block. Yeah.
Or put her in jail on the weekend.
The real father.
Put her in
maybe
jail
community service or something. I don't know, but
something got to get done. If I'm the magistrate, I'm telling them, all right, watch it. Monday through Friday, you can watch them. Saturday, Sunday, you're going in the big house. Okay, you gonna do something. Something got to change. If not, this is gonna keep going on. Like, this is madness at the end of the day. This is crazy.
Yeah.
So going back, I'm surprised. Where's the answers? Yo, So Chill, I know you got the answer. What has the biggest paternity fraud numbers out here in the world? Come on. I know you got the answers. Some of y'all got to have the answers. Where's T at? I don't know T out there. I know you got your paperwork and everything all the time, man. Come on. Which country or which place, I don't want to give it away too much, but who has the highest maternity fraud in the world?
Go ahead and let us know. Who is it?
Where?
The most jacket.
No, who is it? Let us know. Let us know.
All right. I'm going to give So Chill 2 minutes. 2 minutes, So Chill. All right.
So no family looks alike.
Well, I know my family, and we all kind of look alike, so it ain't going on over here.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's your answer. There's your answer.
What do you say?
No.
What do you got? Oh.
No, we said that already.
Okay. You came close. You came close. Believe it or not, Nigeria. Yes, sir.
Wow.
Number one in the world. Jamaica comes second. Jamaica's a close second. Yeah,
so what are they doing in Jamaica? I mean, in Nigeria to have these stats? Like how did they get the statistics to compare it to other countries?
Afrobeat.
No, come on. Like
but we always hear that Africa, this one guy has 3 wives, 4 wives, how many kids? So
well, remember that's
the wives are slipping on the side still.
Well, listen, Africa. All right. So again, remember, there's so
where
many.
Where did that information come from? Yeah, where did that information come from?
No, I'm telling you, point blank. It's real. Google. You Google
I'm gonna have to Google that.
You Google it. Why is it hard to believe that Nigeria can have a high number?
No, she's African. She's
no.
She's for African stuff. No, why are you going to Africa?
But y'all remember now, a lot of places are Americanized now. So they may not have the same. Remember, there's so many different sections, tribe, different things. So not everyone nowadays is still following the traditional way of things.
The only reason I say that is because of what Q said, that it's usually the men.
Oh, you mean
may have potential for multiple wives, so they would have claim to many children. So I kind of find that
but remember,
a little off.
these newer city-like places now, and the way of people thinking and how they move, like everything over here now. There's no longer that rule and regulations out the window for a lot of them. They party and they doing their thing. So you know, and I mean, look at this like this.
Lego.
So they just have more DNA testing then going on there.
Obviously.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Something. I mean, look, you got females over here trying to grab a Nigerian dude to get a Bentley. So what you think they doing over there? They right next to them. Like, you know, you got these loving basketball wives and all these. Everybody's marrying a African now to try and get up. You know what I mean? So what you think? Hey, I'm right next to it, right there, back home in the motherland. Well, I don't have to deal with all that. Hey, you are the father. Okay. It's just like, hey, it's a done deal. You understand? But I don't know. Like I said, I think, once again, just on a responsible moral value base of things, people just have to do better. You know what I'm saying? Males, females, everyone, they just have to do better. You can't really look at someone and know. I mean, all right, even if you don't know and you're eeny, meeny, miny, mowing somebody,
because
let the both of them go deal with that situation.
Because this doesn't just stop there. You're not the father, are you? You know, it doesn't stop there. It's damaging to health,
right?
Family,
right?
Financial problems, all these things.
A lot of things.
It's not just you're not the daddy and it's finished there. You just take it. I'm not the dad, and you go. It rips people
So
apart.
shooting back to the situation where you're talking about back in Jamaica, where they're saying it domino effects into a lot of different things, and that sometimes the end result is the violence portion of things. I was actually watching a movie on Tubi. It was a good show. In the D, Detroit. Very good. You know, I was watching, so I'm gonna give her a shameless plug. And that happened. It was a female that was dealing with a guy. I don't want to give it away too much, but one was a cop and one was a hustler. Both these dudes thought that they would. Well, one was a regular guy. My mistake. One was a police. Two of them both thought they were the father. They both go to take the DNA, and they both find out they're not the father. And they come to find out, like, one of the other dude that didn't even know the other two guys, but always came into contact with them in the neighborhood. You know, that 6 degree of separation situation is going on. This kid is calling each and every one of these guys dad, which was crazy when I watched it in the movie, because you're sitting there saying, like, oh my God, like somebody's programming this kid, whether it be the mother or the fact that she's drilling it in the kid every time she go in front of whoever. And the kid, I'm saying to myself, when does the kid go finally say to one of them, like, yo, who's the dad? Because the last one I said he's the dad, and she's dropping the kid off to each one of them.
Yeah.
And it only came out because an argument situation happened, and she was talking, and another girl was close by, and she picked up and knew one of the guys. And she was like, hold on, I thought my homeboy is the kid's father. You tell her this dude he's the father. So that's how it kind of blew up. But if it didn't go down that way, how long would that be going on where this kid is sitting there, and every time he get dropped off to somebody, hi dad, hi dad, hi dad. It's like, that's a wicked situation right there.
But and this is real. I've seen this before. Is I want to know, are these guys good, real good dad? I've seen two dudes fight, saying it's my kid.
Well, all of them
without a DNA test.
Here's the thing: even after the DNA test, one of the guys were pissed off. The regular guy, he's pissed off.
I've seen it before.
He said, you know, like they normally do on Maury, that it ain't me. I don't think it's the main fact of the child, but to know that I would have to be tied to that person for those amount of years. I'm glad it's not me. Aside from the fact that, of course, you know, you always going to keep looking like I'm paying for somebody else's child. You know what I'm saying? But the police officer wise, he was pissed off and it turned violent. So that's why when you were saying that, it dawned on me when I'm watching the movie that reality playing the same thing. So that person at the end, even though he was violent, at the end, he was still saying he would still accept the kid because it's been so many years that that's still his son.
Yeah.
Regardless. But as far as the mother, he don't want no dealings with that person.
Yeah.
So I think when it comes to the anger part, is just the fact that this person really duped you, and knowingly know, and it's even worse for you to play 3 people, maybe 1, because you really didn't know. But when you tell 3 different people, the same thing, and what it boiled down to, each one of them was paying her. That's what it all boiled down to. She was getting a check from each and every one of them.
Provisions.
But also what Sassy said in the beginning, if she's living a life with a personal a guy, which she said she known as her father from coming up, and then reaches a certain age and said her that that's not her dad.
Right.
I don't think how many percent of people would just leave it, let it flow. I don't think anybody would just leave it, let it flow, and say, "This is my dad. I don't care."
Right.
Maybe it's gonna be nagging. You just want to know a little bit, even to see that guy, not present.
Not
just
present
to see the
yourself. Personality and see if you have anything from that person.
Oh, I see traits of me in him, or trait.
I think it probably stem more from whether the person didn't know, or whether the person decided to leave,
to step aside,
whether the person was a bad person, whether the person passed away, so I think it all depends. If this person's, let's say, like a Marilyn Manson or some
you would just stay away.
Yeah, you stay away. You know what I mean? But if it's somebody like, did I say Marilyn? My bad. Is it Charles Manson? My bad. You know what I mean?
I said it, but I know who you were talking.
Yeah, you stay away. You know what I mean? But if it's something where the person didn't know because your mother didn't say nothing, that's different. You know what I'm saying?
So
that's different.
What do you call a mothers like though? What do you call that?
And everything has its own.
Some women do it because they prefer one guy over the other. So in their mind, they really want this person to be the father. Yeah. And a lot of time, it doesn't turn out to be that way. So they got to learn just to space out their dudes much more than a week.
You're right. So safety
they got
first.
They got to space out their dudes much further apart.
So before we end off now, so there's a few things that for all those. Now this is just dealing with Florida. So dealing with Florida, does anyone know the different steps that you have to take just to get a bill similar to this passed? Like all the different sections you have to go through or anything of that nature?
No, Florida is special, so
like Charlemagne said, special people come from the Bronx and Florida. so okay. So first off, for a similar bill, which is House Bill 2689. Again, go get that lotto number. First of all, you gotta go through the Florida legislatures. All right,
number, man.
So,
stop playing with that number.
Hey, you gotta speak it into existence. I'm gonna go it's too late for me to play it now. But tomorrow morning, definitely. All right.
So then,
put it in for tomorrow. Then the bill has to be filed by the representatives and the senators. Okay. After that, now, once it gets passed through them, it has to be again passed through the committees. All right. Then after that, each bill must be passed by both chambers before it can become law. Once that goes down, then it's handed over to the governor, and then the governor has to sign whether he wants to go with it or veto it. Okay? So these are all the different steps and the different people you have to convince and different things of that nature just to get a law going. So sometimes, no matter what you have to do, you have to get up off that couch, go to your local representatives, and make certain things happen if you want change in your community. It's not going to happen by us just sitting here complaining and talking. You know what it is. You have a thing called Google. You have all these things at your fingertips. So if you want change in your community, it's definitely going to have to start with you. And then you spread the word to everyone else to come in. Because without the numbers, you still have nothing. Everything is numbers. Numbers control the world. Every day you get up, you see numbers around you. Okay? And only the big numbers is winning. Small numbers don't matter. So if it's one person, yes, that's a start. But if we can all join forces, we can make the change. Right now, in a place like Memphis, Tennessee, they're making the change. There's no reason why Florida, New York, and all these different places can't do the same thing. So I encourage everyone to do like we always say on this show. Go out in the world and be somebody. Get off that couch and make it happen, okay? So I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. Q, any Maury's? Any Maury's?
No, you're not. You're not the fuck.
Go like this. Nah, man.
You thought I was killing you?
All right. Sassy, your thoughts on the 2689 bill?
It'll be a good thing. It'll be a good thing.
Perspective. Yeah.
All right. From a female's perspective.
Yeah.
Okay. IT, what about you? Loving it?
Yeah.
Okay. You sound very excited about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have called Bob and find out what he had to say. Yeah.
He on vacation.
He's on vacation. So for me, I definitely am 100% behind it. I hope that it helps. Like I said, look, at the end of the day, it should be all about the kids. It has nothing to do with you flashing, being the shiniest person out here, living with the Jones, or trying to be, with all whatever it is. The monetary portion of things should always be about these kids. The kids are the future. So if you're looking for anything different,
Yeah.
you deserve whatever you get. So for me, jail time is a must.
Yeah.
It's a definite must.
You thought
It's a definite must. I would need it.
Yeah, for the yard man them.
Yeah. That Michael Jackson jacket.
Come on. Don't own no Chinese. Baby man.
Yo, speaking of that, I saw a cartoon one time and it always stuck out in my head, right? So it was an old school cartoon like Doonesbury or one of those old school cartoons that where we used to read newspapers back in the days. Okay. So it was a white family, right? A white family. The husband and the wife is waving at the milkman, right? The milkman is walking by. The milkman is black. The baby's black. That's all I gotta say. Good night. And the husband's looking at the wife like, because he's wondering, like, yo, the milkman is walking like this.
Yeah, man.
And the lady's holding the kid. The kid is black. The milkman is black. The husband looking at her, and then he's looking at her. It's like, yo.
We know in Jamaica where they say we're out of many one people, man. But don't go on no Chinese baby, man. You worse now, so much Chinese is in Jamaica.
Better go out in the world and be somebody. Hot damn it. I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. Thank you very much. Live at the Barbershop every Friday, 9 p.m. See you next week. Be there or be square. Holla.
Go out in the world and be somebody.